So when we sued the federal government in 2018, myself and Aaron Siri, because for many years I was saying not one of the 72 vaccines that is currently mandated for American children, the 72 doses of 16 vaccines, not one of them has ever had a placebo-controlled study or a study that looks at health outcomes, all-cause health outcomes in vaccinated population for against a similarly situated unvaccinated population. Those studies are basic to every other medical product, but with vaccines, they're waived. And I've said that for years. Now, one of them has had pre-licensing clinical trials that show the vaccine actually has benefits for all-cause mortality or all-cause health. And Tony Fauci has publicly said that I was lying about that. So I sued him and NIH and HHS, and I said, if you say you got the study, show them to me. And after a year of litigation on the courthouse steps, they came back and they said, yeah, we've never done one. And so, that's outrageous. Nobody knows what the risk profile is for these products. Nobody can tell you with science, a scientific basis, that these products are averting more problems than they're causing and deaths than they're causing. And that is, and particularly when you're mandating a intervention to healthy children, you want much more rigorous studies, because if it's a medicine, the person's already sick. And so they're willing to accept a higher risk profile because they're already sick. But when you give us something, a medical intervention to a healthy person, that person has no risk from these diseases. And how do you justify that? And then you mandate it and tell the child you cannot go to school, you cannot exercise your constitutional rights unless you submit to this coercion with a intervention that we have never tested properly. It's really, it offends the conscience if you actually understand what is happening. And most people don't, because, of course, the media in our country is an extension of the pharmaceutical industry. There's 75% of advertising revenues now on the mainstream media are now coming from pharma, and that ratio is even higher for the evening news, because the evening news is where you see pharmaceuticals advertised. And, Anderson Cooper has a $12 million a year annual salary. Well, 10 million of that is coming from Pfizer. Oh, his boss is not CNN. His boss is Pfizer. And, they're unashamed, they're unabashed about it. They say, on his program brought to you by Pfizer. Of course, he's not going to tell you the truth about Pfizer's product. He's going to try to sell them to you. He's going to try to scare the hell out of you by saying, if you don't get this, you're going to die. And that's what they did for 2 years, while taking the money from these, very, very, the same companies that brought us the opioid epidemic, that kills 56,000 kids a year, and by the way, if you look at that TV show Dope Sick, which I advise people to go to see, it's on Netflix, you'll see that it was not just the pharmaceutical companies that were corrupt, it was FDA. FDA was pushing opioids for Americans, saying that and allowing the pharmaceutical companies to say they're not addictive. And they were doing it for the same reasons they pushed this vaccine, because they're part of that industry. The mercantile purpose of those agencies has completely subsumed their regulatory functions.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.